My wife announced this news, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with a quiet strength that filled the room. Before her words even did, my wife announced this news. Her voice carried something deeper, something more than sound. It carried truth, it carried change, it carried a moment that would never be the same again. I watched her, the way her eyes held both courage and something fragile, like she was standing between hope and uncertainty, between what was and what was about to be. My wife announced this news, and time slowed. Every second stretched, every breath became heavy, every heartbeat echoed, like it knew this moment mattered. My wife announced this news, and I realized that life doesn't always warn you, doesn't always prepare you for the moments that reshape everything. Sometimes it simply arrives like this. My wife announced this news, and I saw in her not just the woman I love, but the strength she has always carried, the battles she has fought silently, the emotions she has held without letting them break her. My wife announced this news, and I listened, not just with my ears, but with my heart, trying to understand every word, every pause, every feeling behind it. Because this was not just news, this was a turning point. My wife announced this news, and I felt a wave of emotions rise within me: confusion, surprise, fear, hope, all tangled together in a way I could not separate. My wife announced this news, and in that moment, I knew one thing for sure. No matter what she said, no matter what this meant, she was not alone. Because love is not only for easy days. Love stands in moments like this. My wife announced this news, and I stepped closer, not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, closing the distance that uncertainty tries to create. My wife announced this news, and I saw her strength not as something distant, but as something shared, something that now belonged to both of us. My wife announced this news, and I understood that whatever comes next, whatever path we walk, we will walk it together, not perfectly, not without struggle, but together. My wife announced this news, and in her voice I heard trust, trust that I would listen, trust that I would stay, trust that I would not turn away when things became real, when life became heavy. My wife announced this news, and I chose to be present, not lost in fear, not trapped in doubt, but grounded in the love we built, in the promises we made, in the life we share. My wife announced this news, and I realized that moments like this are not just about hearing, they are about understanding. about standing strong, about becoming more than who you were before. My wife announced this news, and something inside me changed. Not broken, but awakened, stronger, more aware, more ready for whatever life places in our path. My wife announced this news, and I will remember this moment. Not as fear, not as uncertainty, but as the moment we proved that love is stronger than anything life can bring. And the silence that followed was not empty, it was full of meaning, full of thoughts racing faster than words could form. I looked at her again, trying to read what her eyes were saying, trying to understand what her heart had already accepted. My wife announced this news, and I could see that she had carried it alone for some time, holding it inside until she found the strength to finally let it go, to finally share it with me. There was bravery in that moment, a quiet kind of bravery that doesn't ask for applause but deserves it more than anything. My wife announced this news, and I felt a shift inside me, a movement from uncertainty toward responsibility, from hesitation toward presence, because now it was real. Now it was ours. My wife announced this news, and I stepped closer. This time, not just in feeling, but in action. I reached for her hand, not to fix anything, not to pretend that I had all the answers, but to remind her that she doesn't have to face this alone. My wife announced this news, and in that simple touch, something unspoken passed between us, a promise, a promise to stand together, to face whatever comes, to hold on even when things become uncertain or difficult. My wife announced this news,